Hello and welcome to Late Nights with Keith, or also known as Keith's Ramblings. But can't really call it ramblings because now I actually have an idea of what I'm doing. First, I want to talk about my new way I'm going to be doing these. There's going to be 15-minute videos, hopefully, on a weekly basis. And I'll just be talking about stuff, and other stuff, and stuff like that. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. So first, tonight's episode, if you couldn't tell by the title, I'm going to be reading you one. Tonight, I'm going to be reading a book found on the Kindle store called 101 Best Jokes. Here we go. A baby seal walks into a bar and the bartender asks, "What will it be, stranger?" "Anything but a Canadian... Bleh. Anything but a Canadian club," replies the seal. I don't know what to think about that. Bartender walks... Here's the next one. A bartender walks into a church, a temple, and a mosque. He has no idea how jokes work. That's actually kind of funny, because it's not funny at all. I don't even. All right. A baseball walks into a bar and the bartender throws it out. Ha, 'cause get it? It's a baseball. A bear walks into a bar and says, "Bartender, I'd..." Whoa, okay. Let's try that again. A bear walks into a bar and says, "Bartender, I'd like a gin." "And tonic." And the bartender says, "Sure, but what's with the big paws?" Oh, I get that one. Oh, it's funny. Not at all. A cable TV installer walks into a bar and orders a beer. The bartender says, You'll be served sometime between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m." That's a good one. That's a good one. A drunk staggers out of a bar and runs right into two priests. He says, "I'm Jesus Christ." And the first priest says, "No, son, you're not." The drunk turns to the other priest, "I'm Jesus Christ." The second priest replies, "No, son, you're not." So the drunk says, "Look, I can prove it." He walks back into the bar with the two priests. The bartender takes one look at the drunk and exclaims, "Jesus Christ, you're here again?" Haha, that's great. That's great. Oh gosh. Oh, that's good. Uh, Here's another one. A drunk staggers out of a bar and sees a nun standing at a bus stop. He walks up to her and he punches her in the face. When she falls to the ground, he starts screaming, "You're not so tough now, are you, Batman?" Here's one everyone knows. A drunk walks into a bar. "Ouch," he says. Like no one's ever heard that one before. Original. Fish walks into a bar. Bartender says, "What will it be?" The fish croaks, "Water!" I think that's only funny if you like croak like "Water!" Like if you're just like "Water." I'd be like, "Fuck you, fish. Get out of here. No one likes you. You're fish. You're a fish." Alright, here's the next joke. French fry walks into a bar and says to the bartender, "Hey, could I get a beer, please?" And the bartender looks at him, shaking his head, and says, "No, we don't serve food here." That's funny. Alright. I don't even know how to say that name. Descartes, I think. Descartes walks into a bar. The bartender asks, "Would you like a beer?" Descartes replies, I think not. And poof, he vanishes. E flat walks into a bar. The bartender says, sorry, we don't serve minors. Ooh. Jesus Christ walks into a bar and says, I'll have a glass of water. Julius Caesar walks into a bar. I'll have a martinez, he says. The bartender gives him a puzzled look and asks, don't you mean a martini? Look, Caesar retorts, if I wanted a double, I'd have asked for it. Latin joke. It's funny. It is funny. What I've come to realize, though, all the jokes I've said are bar-related jokes, right? This is a really crowded bar. I mean, Jesus Christ is there twice. And I'm sorry for all the religious people if you don't like religious jokes and stuff like that. I didn't pre-read this book before I started doing this. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm yawning because it's freaking 11:36 p.m. Alright, here's the next one. The past, the present, and the future walk into a bar. Then things get tense. Thomas Edison walks into a bar and orders a beer. The bartender says, okay, I'll serve you a beer, just don't get any ideas. Alright, this next joke's pretty long. Please bear with me if you haven't already left, because why would you have stayed for this long? Anyways, two guys are walking their dogs, one of which is a black lab and the other a chihuahua. Passing a bar, the lab walker says, let's get a beer. The other guy retorts, we can't take our dogs in there. The first guy says, watch. In he goes and orders a beer. Sorry, you can't bring your dog in here, says the bartender. But he's my seeing eye dog. Oh, okay. Here's your beer. Convinced, the chihuahua owner follows, orders a beer, and gets the same response. No beer. But he's my seeing eye dog, he pleads. Yeah, right, replies the bartender. A chihuahua as a seeing eye dog? Give me a break. They gave me a chihuahua? That's great. It's because he's actually blind. Wow, when did I get so close to the microphone? Why is it falling off my ceiling? Yes, guys, I have my microphone suspended from my ceiling via duct tape. That's not a joke. That's actually true. Alright, next joke's pretty short, though. Two guys walk into a bar. The third one ducks. Two jumper cables walk into a bar. The bartender says, you guys better not start anything in here. Oh god. I think I might actually end this one at 10 minutes. I don't think I can bear any more of these jokes. If that's what you can call them. Jokes. Seriously, why am I so close to the microphone? It's getting creepy. It's getting real creepy. It's touching my face. Okay. Okay, too close. I'm backing away now. Okay. Next joke's pretty long, too. Two Texas farmers, Jim and Bob, are sitting at the bar drinking beer. Jim turns to Bob and says, you know, I'm tired of going through life without an education. Tomorrow, I think I'll go to the community college and sign up for some classes. The next day, Jim goes down to the college and meets the dean of admissions, who signs him up for the four basic classes: math, English, history, and logic. Logic, Jim says. What's that? The dean says, I'll give you an example. Do you own a weed eater? Yeah. And logically speaking, because you own a weed eater, I presume you have a yard. That's true. I do have a yard. I'm not done, the dean says. Because you have a yard, I think that logically speaking, you have a house. Yes, I do have a house. And because you have a house, I think that you might logically have a family. Yes, I do have a family. So because you have a family, then logically you must have a wife. And because you have a wife, then logic tells me you must be a heterosexual. I am a heterosexual. You're amazing. You were able to find all that out just because I had a weed eater? Excited to take the class, Jim shakes the dean's hand and leaves to go meet Bob at the bar. He tells Bob about his classes, now he is and how he is signed up for math, English, history, and logic. Logic, Bob says. What's that? I'll give you an example, says Jim. Do you have a weed eater? No. Then you're gay. Oh, that's not a good joke. It's terrible. Some people might find that funny. I don't. You can't make fun of gays. You can't make fun of happy people like that. You make fun of homosexuals like that, but not happy people. Oh, and look at that. We're past 11 minutes. I'll finish up this page. Oh, blonde jokes. Okay. Yeah, let's do the next two blonde jokes in this book to get it over with. What do you call 100 blondes stacked on top of each other? An air mattress. What do you call an unmarried blonde in a BMW? A divorcee. And that, folks, concludes tonight's episode. Tonight's episode of Keith's Ramblings, or whatever it was I said earlier. Thank you, and good night.